Hello everyone. In this video, I will be explaining you about how to create HTML dynamically. So I have HTML page and where I have just skeleton like HTML tag, head, body, and I have one div container and it is having the ID called container, and I am referring app.js file here using the script tag. So you can see the app.js currently it is empty. So now what I will do, before we see how to create HTML dynamically using JavaScript, I just access this container element in the app.js. So how to access? Constant container equal to. So we have a object called document. DOM provided object called document using which you can access the HTML element. Document dot. We have a method called get element by ID, and here you can pass the ID that we have provided. So container. So I want to create the customer details dynamically using JavaScript and I want to show on the so let's say I have the customer, let customer equal to, and the name is, so I have a customer called Janu and I want to show him his details on the screen. Now it's time for creating the customer element. So constant customer element equal to document dot, so we have a method called create element. So what it will do, it will take the tag name or element name as a parameter and it will create the element node. If you want to create the div, you have to provide the div. If you want to create the para, you have to provide the p. So like that. So here I want to create the div element, so I am providing the div name. Now we can see that return type is HTML div element, and if you pass the paragraph, then you can see that HTML paragraph element. We created the customer element, and here for the customer element I want to show the customer name. We need to pass the text to the customer element. How to do that? You can use the property called text content or inner text. Customer element dot text content equal to, and here Janu, so I just provide customer. So we have created the customer element and added the text to that. So it is time to show it on the UI. So to show it on the UI, we need to add this one to the one of the element called container. So we have container, not just container, you can add to the body also. So we can use two properties, one is prepend and another one is append. Container dot, I use append, and what append will do, it will insert the node that we provide as a last child. Customer element. So let's go to index.html and right click and run it. So using the live server, we can run the HTML page. So right click, open with the live server. Now we can see that Janu. So we successfully created the HTML element using the create element method and added that one to the container. Same thing you can see in the elements tab also. So go to here, press F12 and go here, container. Inside the container you can see that div Janu, right? I told you append will add the element as the last child. So what does it mean? Let's say I have one tag here, h1 customer details, and now you can see customer details. So we have the element here, but when you use the append method, it will add it as a last child, means it adds after the h1, not before the h1. You can see the same in the DOM also. H1 element is here and after that div element is there. But if you use the method called prepend, what will happen? Copy and comment. Instead of the append, if you use the prepend, you can see that Janu is inserted as a first child and customer details moved to the next position. Prepend means it will add as a first child and append means it will add as a last child. So this is the only difference between the append and prepend. Now back to append. So I use the append only. So far so good. Now if you want to add the style, if you want to add the color to the John, or if you want to add some background color, how do you do? So using the style object you can do it. So container dot style And style object will have all the CSS properties like color. I am providing the color as, let's say, yellow. You can see that custom style container style color yellow, and you can see, so we added for the container actually. Sorry, we should add to the customer element. So customer element dot container, you can see that customer is in the yellow color. So maybe I'll give red color. Yeah, you can see that color. So same way, if you want to add some background color, so you can add customer element dot style dot background, and C should be capital. It follows the camel case, which means first word of the property start with small letters and remaining words will start with the capital letter. Like C is start with the capital letter color. So we should write like this. And let's say now I will provide yellow. You can see that yellow color applied, background color also applied. So like this, you can add the style property. So here one important point that we should notice is, like whenever you add the properties using the style object, so they will be added as a inline styles. You can see the same in the elements tab where style, color red and background color yellow. So it is will be added as the inline style. So in real time, we just not add the only color and background color, and we need to add more properties like padding, height, width, and other properties. So to do that, the better way is to create the CSS class and append that class to the customer element. So how to do that? Go to index.html, and here in the head tag, so just open the style section, and here you can write customer. You can give any name. I'm just giving the customer, but you can give any name. I give width 100 pixel, height 50 pixel, padding, let's say 5 pixel. So now nothing happens because so we are at add this customer class to the customer element. So copy this. So how to add that? So we have an object called class list. So customer element dot class list. So dot add. So you can see that it will take the array of the string. So now here I will provide name of the CSS class. So what is the CSS class? Customer. Now if we go and save it, you can see that this customer class is added to the div, and all the properties whatever we added to this customer class will be applied on the customer element. Go and save it. Janu, height, width and padding, everything is applied, and you can see here class equal to customer. You can see here the customer class applied, width, height, padding, everything is applied. So this way you can add more than one class also, not just a single class, and you can add the more than one class. Let's say I will add one more class, test border 1 pixel solid red. So if you want to add more than one class in a single statement, you can add like this test. And if we say that border is applied where we have written just border 1 pixel solid red for the test class. Otherwise, you can do like this also. So if you want to add in multiple lines, you can do like this. Otherwise, you can just add like this, and we don't require this line. And if you want to remove also, you can use the remove like customer element dot class list dot remove, and you can provide the class name. So I want to remove the test. So save it. You can see that border is now removed. So here it is applied, then it is removed here. So using the remove, you can remove whatever the class name that you want. So in real time, based on the condition, you need to add or remove the CSS class to or from the element. So now we just created the single customer. Let's say if you have the array of customers, that time you can't write this code repeatedly. So here I have a single customer. But what if I have the array of customers like this? Janu, Mike, Krish. So if you have the array of customers, then how do you do? So here I just provide the customer array, that's why it is showing this one. But if you have array like this, then you need to repeat this code 3 times. And if you have 10 items, then you have to repeat this same code 10 times. So instead of doing that, you can use the array.forEach method and you can reuse this code to create the customer element. I'll just mention instead of customer, I will name it as a customers dot I use the method called for each. So for each we'll take the callback function and we'll write the callback function here function, and the callback function will receive the value comma value comma index. So what I do, I just write this function outside instead of here. For better readability purpose or testing purpose, it is advised to write these callback functions outside and just refer the callback function name here. So I just write this outside. So before this for each const render customers equal to this one. And here I just created the function expression and I just assign this function and which will take the value comma index. So now what we need to do, we need to just cut this code, paste here. Instead of customer, we need to provide the value that we are receiving in callback value. And now this callback function name we need to provide in the for each. So what for each will do? For each will call this render customers callback function for each of these customer. So 3 times it will calls because it is having 3 customer names. So now let's see how it will appear when we go and save this. And you can see Jan, Mike and Chris. So 3 elements will be created. Same thing you can see on the DOM. Customer details is the header and after that 3 divs, div1, div2 and div3. 3 customers are created. Since we don't have the margin, so we can't see them separated. So I'm go and give here some margin 5 pixel, and now we can see that each customer is separated and you can simply differentiate them. I will just add some background color to the body so it will look even better. Background, and I just remove this customer detail. Even we can add the border radius to make it even more beautiful. Border radius 4 pixel. So this is how you can create the HTML dynamically using the JavaScript. So you will just add some transition so that it will look better when it is rendering the customers on the screen. So how to do the transition? Just customer and apply the property called transition and mention all duration 0.5 seconds and effect is in out. Instead of the 100 pixel I just mentioned the width as 10 pixel initial. You can see the transition effect whenever the width or any property changes its value from one value to another value. In that case you can see that transition effect. So height I will keep the same thing and I'll just add opacity, so which is 0. So whenever you mention the opacity 0, you can't see anything. So opacity 0 means it just blank this screen, means a particular element. So it just blank that particular element. So customer element now you can't see because it is there in the DOM, but you can't see because we applied the opacity 0. And here you go and here you add, say I create one more class, customer essay render. Here I will provide width 150 pixel and opacity, this is very important, so 100 means you can see it completely. So now what I do, I will add this class to the customer element. So customer element dot class list dot add, sorry, it should be customer element. Still you can't see the transaction because it is happening very immediately that we are adding the customer class and these properties and we are adding this customer renderer also, and there is no delay in this. There is no delay in adding these properties. So that's why you are not able to see any transition here. So for this purpose we need to provide some delay. So how to provide some delay? So whenever you want to execute some code after some delay, you use the method called set timeout. So set timeout. I hope you know the set timeout, and I will cover the set timeout in another video completely. Here, you just remember that whatever code you written inside this, you can provide the function also here, but here we don't require to add the callback function. This is like nothing but arrow function, and this is callback function, and here you can write this code. So I just cut this code and keep it, and you need to provide after how many milliseconds you want to execute this code. So I just provide 500 milliseconds, and now you can see that smooth transition because now it is getting executed after the 5 milliseconds, and whenever I save it, you can see that it is transiting from the width 10 to 150, and also opacity 0 to 100. Even we can change the color also. Like if you want to change the color, the basic color is black, and if you want to show it here, if you add here, you can see it will change from black to red. Whenever I save it, you can see it will change from black to red. So here I am saving it, keep on saving it. So this is how transition works. So if you want to add any transition, you can add like this using the set time mode. Now let's say if you want to add some text box to each customer, or if you want to add some button to each customer, you can do it easily. Like let's say constant equal to document dot create element, and same way we need to provide the tag name as button, and button dot we need to provide some name to that. So I'll just provide inner text equal to submit and add this button to the customer element. So how to add that? Customer element dot append of button. So now go and save it. You can't see anything here because the customer element is not yet available in the DOM whenever we are adding the button. So we need to add this after this statement, like after we add in the customer element to the container, then we need to add. Now we can see that submit button is appearing on the each element. So if we add the button to the customer element before we add in this customer element to the container, it won't show up on the screen. So whenever we are trying to add the button to the customer element, so what the JavaScript will do, it will try to look for the customer element available on the DOM. By the time we are adding the button to the customer element is not added to the container, means it is not available on the DOM. So it can't find this one, and it can't add this button to the element that is not existing. So that's why we need to move this statement to the this line. So what will happen after this? Now customer element is available in the DOM, so it can find the customer element and add the button to that. If you go and save, now you can see the submit button. Now when you click on the submit button, nothing is happening now because we have not yet provided any functionality. So to add the functionality, you can use the add event listener, and you can add click functionality, for example, or mouse over functionality, anything. So the most commonly used event of the button is click, so we will add the click functionality to the button. So how to add? So using add event listener, you can do that. I will do here itself button dot add event listener. So add event listener will take the two parameters. The one is the event name, and the one is the callback function that needs to be invoked when event occurs. Mention the event name as click, and here the callback function comes. I just write the arrow function. So if you are not aware of add event listener or arrow functions, please watch my videos on add event listener and arrow functions. Now here I just want to display the alert sum box. Alert customer name. So what is the customer name here? Value. So now if we go and click this, you can see that alert box coming. Janu, here Mike, and here Krish will come. And this way you can add even the text box or any element that you want to add, and even you can add the events to the elements that you are going to add. So this is how we can create the dynamic DOM using JavaScript. Hope you understand this concept, and please leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.